Good evening. Well, I am in the Chusha Joe. Chusha Joe is a parking lot, but Chusha Joe also means Chusha means injection, so it could be injection place where you get your injection. Now, when Mark, the German transvestite, stayed here, what I did, I let him sleep in my car. I parked my car, well, probably just over that way. And then he slept in that for about a month. And then there was this meat place over the road there, a yakiniku shop. And so I paid 20,000 to the owner, and he could stay there for a month. So that was pretty good. Because, Mark was a great help and a good character. And one night he came back. He came back with my small truck, and on the truck, piled high, piled about 5 meters high, were like 15, 16, 17 bicycles that he had picked up from the gymnasium. These were all bicycles that weren't being used; they were like thrown away. Very illegal, of course. Hello, Web Talks. How are you? Where are you watching from? Are you a native speaker? Are you Japanese? Can you speak Japanese? Big fan. Okay. Thank you. Do you want to give me some details about where you're from, so I can understand people? Last night, this is the second time I've seen this. I don't know if it's the same person, but they just ran really fast from the light over there past my place. Just really, really running really fast. And I haven't seen other people do that in like 20 years here. So I was in the sauna and I shaved my head quite close. Now, about 10 kilos ago, I had really big bags here. So hopefully, with the diet and the saunas, or the Turkish, or the hot bath, the watery hot bathroom, I can get rid of these bags under my eyes. And another 10 kilos. No, like a lot. There's a thing that's saying you should lose weight slowly. I met this guy in the gym, an elderly Japanese guy. He had a big belly like mine, and I thought he was 104 kilos, just a little bit heavier than me, which is rare for Japanese. And we were talking, and he said maybe he'd had some problems, same as me, over drinking, overeating. But he'd had an operation. I don't know if he did an operation, but he'd had like an injection into his liver. And he was telling me losing 6 kilograms in 3 months is too much. But the thing is, if you let's say you lose 1 kilogram a month, I mean, you could have a good blowout and that weight would be back on straight away. And it's only by losing 3, 4, 5 kilos that you can have that, is it playing room or whatever? I should never, you know, because one of the things about weight loss with people is that if you don't see progress, it's just very depressing and you just think it's a waste of fucking time. And if you do it like 1 kilogram a month, it's just, you know, I guess I'm in a different position now because it could adversely affect my health. And and I think that the main thing that decided it when there was a couple of nights my hands were really, really fucking itchy. And I don't know if that was the liver or it was the kidneys sending me a problem. According to the doctor, my liver's okay. But the kidney might not be working properly. So, this is why I want to lose the weight. Is this guy wearing no fucking clothes? No, it's just flesh-coloured trousers. I can't figure out if it's flesh-coloured trousers or shorts. I want to put the car in here because then it's in front of the house, and maybe if it's in the other part, people fucking dump crap in the just round the corner. People dump crap in it. I think someone dumped in a fucking. It looks like it's a can of solidified paint. So 9 hours into the diet. Based. Yeah, I just found out the meaning of that today, so I think I'm going to change the channel name to Based in Japan. What do you think? I've got the fridge outside, and in the freezer I've got like a cold bottle of water. And the lemon. Maybe I'll put the lemon in tomorrow morning. Oh, I wish people would. But what if people had clicked the notification bulb and they just thought, oh, fuck it. It's him again. Going on about the diet. But then again, I guess most of the recent subscribers were in America and now they're in bed. Disky. Or is it Dice Guy? Lilibet. Harry's called his daughter Lilibet. I think he should have called her Black Lily. Like the Black Rose, I wonder if there is a Black Lily. black tulip but caused a lot of problems 300 years ago. Your computer is not gay. Glad to hear that. I'm going to make my computer gay. I bought some crayons. Richard of York gave battle in vain. I'm not even sure of the colours, the colour difference between indigo and violet. Indigo. That was a football. I can't forget that joke now. There's a football joke about a footballer, a goalkeeper or something, and his nickname was Indigo because the balls went past him, and Indigo. So the security guy at Apita, the supermarket, threatened to call the police because what I used to do, I used to because I was banned from this restaurant, I used to broadcast outside, and I used to sit in the corner and rest my phone against the stanchion, and then I sat down and had a beer or something, or a chew-high. Then I would talk to the masses. But after 2 years, this guy comes round and told me I can't sit there. So I says, whether I can stand there, but I can't sit there. I said, look, if a fucking bike's gonna come, I'll be able to see it. There's no bikes in the fucking car park, in the bike park. It's like about 5 bikes wide. And so and a bike is not gonna fucking run into me. He's gonna see me. So then we're arguing the toss about it doesn't belong to the restaurant. It's late at night. There's no cunt coming. But and the thing is, there's another bike park 20 meters away, and that is closer to the door. So anyone coming on their bike would use that bike park. But they have their jobs to do, which is being a cunt. Why is it when cunts have jobs, they carry out their jobs to a T? They don't veer off the path of being a cunt. You know, like a copper, they don't veer off. They've got to be a cunt to a T. Why can't there be sloppy cunts? I'm in the car park opposite my house, doing an old habit, because I get depressed when I go inside. So what I might do is also to catch fuckers when they mess about in front of the house. So I mentioned this on the last on the video when I fasted for 63 hours fast video, that because of the when you start to eat, it's havoc in your bum area. And so what I'm going to check out the prices of staying in the Gate Hotel at the hello Erlanger. Yeah, JA's parking now, yeah. Erlanger, where are you from? South Africa? Oh, pretty girl coming past. Do you want to have a look? Of course you do. And she's coming into Oh, so many hot girls in Japan. Oh, Indonesia. There's someone was on Indonesia, from Indonesia the other night. We were talking about Bali and accidents in Bali. No, don't go past that side, look, because that's the side he's going to turn the car. I hope he fucking crushes her bike. I don't know when it's... I heard something the other day, for my age group, it's not until the end of August. So the plan is to lose some more weight, get in good condition, so my body is in a strong position not to get a reaction to the virus, to the jab, or even to the virus. But I saw there was something on the news today. I was in the sauna today. I was in the Turkish bath today. I would walk for about 1 hour in the Turkish bath, and there was a news item on the Japanese TV about Las Vegas. Las Vegas, were a lot of people there walking about, having a good time. A lot of people with no masks, based Don Quixote. You know, I'm hoping that it's going to be okay, and it's not going to spark a fucking new uptake in sick people, in new cases. But it's still increasing in Japan. I think still a lot of things in Tokyo. Maybe they'll be giving the fucking tickets away. Be quite exciting actually. If they were giving tickets away and making them really cheap, I think I'd go up there. Based. Looks like this I named this well. Well, that's good to hear. When you say Athens, do you mean did you watch the? Did you get into the Olympics? An old girlfriend of mine, she was in Sheffield. There was the Student Olympics, or the Student Games, and she was a volunteer for that. All right, Jack D. All right, pal. Yeah, they're asking for volunteers. They said there's 50,000 volunteers. Red pilled, I'm not sure what that means, mate. In fact, I'm really not sure. I've no fucking idea. No one, no. That's an interesting name. Don Quixote. Now, when Don Quixote is, but in Japan they have a chain of shops called Don Quixote, and I made a joke, like for example, Don Quixote. So ote means, in Japanese, ote means, we say to a dog, we say give your paw, give a paw. In Japanese they say ote, and I thought of a comic or a video where the donkey would like give you its paw, and then you say Don Quixote. I also made a joke about the man from La Mancha, and I managed to get this guy to hold the sign saying the man from Mancha. Mancha in Japanese means full car park. Ellen Sharman, is she an MP? Okay, yeah, I knew that. Yeah, I think Brian Blessed, my favorite guy, was in maybe the English version. Donkeys. So, did you read the book? Is it worth reading? I know it's a classic. Hello from Kakistan. Yeah, I've been watching a few TikToks from a guy from Kazakhstan. And he's a very pleasant guy. Maybe his name's David or something, or George. And he shows these very cheap places to stay in Kazakhstan. So maybe when I get my pension money, I might go. Well, if it, Doom Quixote, if it's pretty good, if it's a good book, what you generally find is that you finish it within the day. I read Red Dragon within the day. I picked it up at work when I worked in Tokyo, 1990. I started reading it in class, or sorry, in the restroom. I took it home and I finished it. Thomas Harris, Red Dragon, brilliant book, brilliant book. Oh, really? Okay. Was she the English astronaut? The babe I was hanging with, I think I misread the signs, so and she didn't want to know me anymore. The thing is, I met her when she was about 18, and I thought she was into me, and but she didn't want to leave talking to me. And when I saw her for the first time in ages, like she's shouting out at me, like, and then, but I'm hoping to get in touch and like I've got a bit of money, not a bit of money, but I've got enough money to treat her to a meal. So, piroka, shark. Well, that's good having something to shout about, isn't it? Nervous in front of the Sheffield crowd. They can be brutal. Can somebody check out what piroka means? See if he's being rude. Piro. Pero is dog in Spanish. In fact, pero, it has two meanings, pero. Is it because and dog? Yeah, she was great fun. She said, last message I heard from her, she wanted to do work with me. So that might happen. But I've just got no. But she hasn't got a. She lives in the fucking parents' living room with the kid. If I could clear this place out, actually, she could come and move here. Animal Farm, you can read that in one day. Misery, that's another book you can't put down. Misery. From the film, you know. That's a fucking good read. Malcolm X, that's a good read. Yes, she is, you know, she was, without a doubt, you know, she was so funny. And she's very nice as well. She's a really nice person. Great Gatsby, I've seen a bit of the film. I think it's a famous, but don't Americans, I know that's a classic, isn't it? Catcher in the Rye and Great Gatsby. Don't Americans read that at school, don't they? Is it Fitzgerald who wrote that? Ella Fitzgerald. great singer and a book writer, multi-talented. I think I started reading that Catcher in the Rye. I couldn't get into it. This was the book that Mark Chapman, that was the reason he supposedly killed John Lennon on the 8th of December. And he killed, what I didn't know until recently, the fucking coward shot him from behind. I think he was also holding an album. That's right, yeah. And the policeman took that. A policeman took that album and sold it. I don't think he really had the rights to it. But you know, there was something strange about that. Whether he'd been fucking brainwashed by the FBI, and it's not fucking. Iwama-san is fine. I saw a clip of him. He looks very Genki. Yes, I can't. What? Epikara Ostra Bae. Ostra. Oh, fuck that. That's the difficulty with, one of the difficulties with the Japanese languages. There's no spaces between the words. I wonder if, okay, I guess it's the Janus. Yeah, because he was like traveling all over the fucking world. And I'm not even sure if he had a fucking job. You know, and if someone keeps pushing you and pushing you and pushing you and brainwashing you. Okay, well, I'm not going to interrupt my broadcast to watch that silly cunt. But apart from that, I can't understand it. That's why I need, that's why I would like to take, fucking name won't come to me, that beautiful young girl with me to translate. But Iwama might start wanking himself off underneath the table. How long's he been in prison now? About 36 years. Moe. It was Moe-chan. But like I said, the last few times I've emailed her, she hasn't replied. But maybe if I offer 5,000 yen to her. Ikakin. I saw some, you know, there's a guy that was like an intermediary for Iwama. And I saw there was a photograph of him wearing a fucking bikini. So that was fucking strange. Yeah, I remember where I was. I remember where I was. We just had a big breakfast. Me and Chris, telephone engineers, working together. And we just had a breakfast and it came on the news about between 9 and 10. that he'd been shot. But they didn't mention he'd been shot from behind. You know, like if it had been facing him, maybe that's why he did it. Maybe that's why he was ordered to shoot him from behind. Because if it had faced him, no, I think it was in December. It wasn't November. It was in December. It's December 7th or 8th, I think. And maybe if he'd have faced him, maybe John Lennon could have talked him out of it. And maybe that's why he was ordered to shoot him from behind. And he took like a trained stance up, you know. Yeah, what? Smoking too many fucking cigarettes will do it. I really can't understand why people smoke, because I tried it when I was a kid. My sister gave us a cigarette to smoke, and then she fucking she threatened us that if we said anything, she'd tell our mother. And I tried it once by myself at home, and it was just disgusting. And I cannot imagine anyone ever as a child taking a cigarette, smoking it, and fucking liking it. So this is why I'm not impressed with people that smoke, because to start smoking, you've got to do it to impress someone, or you're being forced by someone. But it looks like it might come to an end. Several cities are banning smoking outside in England. And I don't know if you've ever been to Tokyo, but they have smoking stations, and you get between like 10, 20, 30 people. Yeah, but you can't smoke, you can't walk in the streets with a cigarette in town centres. There's a 2,000 yen fine. And what they do is they have these smoking places, and so you get lots of people around these smoking places, and the area just fucking stinks. It just stinks fucking vile. Because you've got all this smoke and all these fucking cigarette. I'd hate to be the cleaner that has to fucking clean that up. I think they should let them smoke, but just not in congested areas. The thing is, with Japanese, they smoke a lot, but they only smoke a small part of the cigarette. They don't smoke the whole cigarette. And they don't like clip it off to smoke later, you know, like working class people do. And the other thing is, the cigarettes aren't very strong. And now they become quite expensive. So in Japan, they've got the low, even though a lot of men, mainly men smoke, and even though this cancer rates are still very, very low. I think they're the lowest in the world. Yeah, well, you're talking about Chapman being wacko. Well, anybody who takes someone's life like that is obviously fucking wacko or being sent wacko. But then, you know, they always send a member to the. Every time he comes up for parole, they send someone there. 40 years. 40 years he's been in, yeah. Have you ever heard of the Ivor Novello Award? He was a very famous Welsh songwriter, and Ivor Novello, but he couldn't sing. But he went. We went somewhere one day, and because he was well known, people were, and he was from Wales. They expected that he could sing, and when he tried to sing, they just all started booing him. But he could write. He could write, and so, for example, Elton John and the guy from Take That, Gary Barlow, is it? They've won these. They win the Ivor Novello Award for songwriting. Which part of Sheffield do you live? Are you from Sheffield? Did you say Sheffield? What is it? Just outside Sheffield, Jack? Was it Mansfield? Did you say? Oh yeah, and was it? It was Henderson or something like that, wasn't it? Something Son. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember reading about that as well. That was quite funny. But he was a good songwriter. Yeah. Crooksmoor. That's not a bad area. You've got some good pubs in Crooksmoor, haven't they? That's it. Yeah, Rod Temperton. Yeah. Yeah, I did remember. I used to have the album. I do remember that name. Well, I get what about what the guy that writes with Elton John? Isn't he from in the middle of the country, the flat part of the country? It's not Grimsby. It's a little bit over to the. I forget the name, but we've all got to come from somewhere, you know. So all the songwriters and musicians can't be from London, can they? But you know, but quite. It all depends on what you give to the area. Like in Sheffield, yeah, he's from the. Oh. Lincoln, maybe Lincoln. But like Sheffield, what because of that cunt Thatcher, they built a studio, and they got some good musicians. They could practice for free, I think, or very cheaply. And we had some good musicians from Sheffield. Jarvis Cocker. Jarvis Cocker. And I always, there was like Joe Cocker. I always fucking imagined. I always imagined that Jarvis Cocker was Joe Cocker's son. But apparently it wasn't. And because they both came from Sheffield, his dad was in Australia. And his dad didn't want any publicity. Because Jarvis, even though Jarvis Cocker had one of the best fucking songs ever, his dad didn't want to know, or he didn't want to be public. But I think if the dad fucking runs away from the kids. But all credit to him, when he got famous, he didn't get in touch with him, as a lot of fucking cunts do. But that was quite funny, actually, that Jarvis Cocker tried to smack Michael Jackson when he was on the stage, apparently having a go at Michael Jackson and his like alleged paedophile business. But then he was fucking best mates. He was sucking up to fucking Jimmy Savile. It just shows you how people misread people, doesn't it? Can I just ask, am I the only one that thinks Johnny Rotten is a complete cunt? Because every interview I've seen him given, he's a cunt. He just tries to be cocky and fucking clever. He just thinks he fucking knows it all. Hey, Matthew. Yeah, you know Ramones is, you know the Ramones, is it? Johnny Ramone. I saw an old interview he gave with, and he's the strangest looking fucker. And he was saying that he pissed. I did this with some cunt in Nagoya. He was a fucking cocky cunt, so I pissed in his beer and I bought him a beer and pissed in it and gave it him. And that's what this Ramones did to fucking Johnny Rotten. Pissed in the beer and gave it him. Because obviously he was a fucking wanker. Yeah, Rick Allen, he lost his arm, didn't he? But I knew someone that was a member of that band. He worked at Telecom. And he refused to pack in Telecom to go with them and practice in the States. And obviously they became very big, but they were also massive fucking knobheads. And I know people that have met them. They were all, you know, even though they got fame and money and rich, they all had fucking massive problems, didn't they? I think one died of suicide. He lost his arm. And then he was bashing his wife with the other arm. Is that a 5K run, is it, Matteo? Yeah, losing this bit of weight has got me interested in running again. Maybe losing another 5 or 10K, and I've got my running shoes on at the moment. Yeah, the thing, I saw something that they were supposed to they were like a publicity thing for that woman's shop, Westwood. She's a cunt as well. I've seen her interview, you know, this dress designer. I've seen her interview, she came across really horrible. Oh, I know Frank White, yeah, he was the most famous fucking turn. He was Frank White. I think I've seen him. Frank White was the biggest turn in Sheffield for the working men's clubs. Yeah, some people do, don't they? I mean, the drummer, he got in with the Rolling Stones because his mate didn't want to do it. Hello, Antonio. Someone sent me. Oh, it was Tommy from Sweden or Finland. He sent me. You should check this out. Whoever's watching now, check out Antonio Lee. I forget where he's from. He might be from an Italian island, but speaks Spanish. And he went on a Spanish TV show showing all the moves of Antonio Lee pretending to be Bruce Lee. It's fucking hilarious. I didn't go back and watch it. I'll have to go back and watch it. It was almost as funny as Antonio Inoki fighting Muhammad Ali. That's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen. Imagine that having a. Yeah, I suppose if it had been if it had gone with the Rolling Stones or actually been in the Rolling Stones, imagine that. He's got. Oh yeah, definitely check it. It's fucking hilarious. It really is hilarious. I think the the crew in the studio when they were filming were pissing themselves, if I remember rightly. But he got his 5 minutes of fame. It just shows you, though, if you can have this strange or odd talent, or this, people will invite you and pay for your flight to their countries to show yourself up. Yeah, like I say, I think Frank White was the biggest name, the biggest turn in Sheffield at that time. And there were three other guys. They were They were like a improvised comedy act, and they were quite funny. I actually saw what do you call the foul-mouthed comedian from the northeast? I took on my first date this girl. I shagged her on a Saturday night, and then the next time I took her out, our first date really, and I took her to see this comedian that was really foul-mouthed but really funny. He used to wear a leather cap. He used to wear a leather cap and flying goggles. I thought my long-term memory was supposed to be good. What's his name? Maybe begins with B. Chubby Brown. I just said it maybe begins with B. Yeah, Roy Chubby Brown. Yeah, fucking funny, man. I saw him about 3 times. In the work, I saw Roy Chubby Brown when it was free to see him, and then he started doing venues, like city halls and things like that. Have you ever seen him, Jack? The last time I went back it was probably 1993, or was it? I When was that? I can't remember the last time I went back. I went into the local workingman club, Chef Lane Top. There was a comedian on, but it was fucking really racist, and it wasn't funny either. Yeah, he was. He was one of the best comedians. Well, he's probably the only one that I remember. Oh, we're down to 4 people. Well, at least it's nice, and I should check the weather for tomorrow. Because I've been telling myself if I go early, then I can work outside. But it was very hot here. No, like I say, I was chatting online, and I don't know, about 9 o'clock, I think. I was chatting online this morning, having breakfast, talking about doing this fast, and then I went straight to the sauna to get myself weighed, and then start doing some work. My computer is gay. Keep it a secret. I'm going to make my computer gay. These are the crayons for the felt tip pens. How the fuck can you buy those for like 10 or 12 crayons or felt tip pens for fucking 100 yen? Who was that alien boy? Have you got a funny shaped head, mate? My neighbour is, I think she's very successful. They've got a big house. I think she brings in most of the money. And she's got a Porsche. But the problem with Porsches is they're always fucking breaking down. See, this has happened to her so many times. They've given her a replacement car. Alien boy, your penis is gay. Yeah, maybe coming up to 30 years, I think. So in this area, I will have been here near 27 years in November. And I was in Tokyo nearly 3 years, so 29 years. So I have still spent most of my life in England. Oh, hang on. I'm 62, aren't I? I'm 62. So I can't remember. Yeah, maybe I was 31 when I came here. Hang on, just going to get a water out of the fridge. Oh! Hello, Zen Parody. What's all this then? Earlier, I was on the other phone. It ran out, and a fucking Jobsworth came round. Yeah, well, what you should do if you do come is just get a travel pass. But I don't know when I don't know when it's gonna get back to fucking normal. Look what happened in fucking England. You said you're gonna come out June 21st, and then they let in fucking 3 plane loads of cunts from fucking India or back into England, and now they've got a fucking massive problem. how can that fucking happen? All those people locked down all that fucking time, and they said, well, let's, now we've nearly conquered it, let's bring a load of fucking COVID in from fucking subcontinent. Cunts. Yeah, well, we know that. We know Boris is incompetent. And it looks like he was incompetent before, the old cunt, and now they've got that car. What's his name? Keir Starmer. Yeah, I've only been to Russia once, and that was the airport. That was in the Irish pub in the airport in Moscow. I'll tell you what, the Aeroflot, which I flew on, there's fucking unbelievable amount of legroom. But you don't argue with the fucking stewardesses. They look like fucking MMA. Because all the cute girls, they don't have to go on the fucking airplanes. They get picked up by the millionaires and the billionaires. Yeah, so I flew that Aeroflot twice to London and back. There's not been an Aeroflot crash in years, has there? Does that mean they're due for one? Yeah, I'd like to go to Russia as well. You know, I was watching interviews in the street with Russian people. They just seem very nice and smart. So. But of course, in Russia, when they had the closed market, and people were, and people were waiting years to get things. I was just reading something was on the net about the Stasi. It wasn't very nice living in fucking East Germany. So when I was a youth, I just used to think, look at East Germany. They've only got a very small population, but they're just fucking winning all those medals. And then, of course, it came out they were drugging the fucking athletes up to the eyeballs. And then that team went to China, and China started winning medals. Oh, look, battery's going to run out, guys, so I'm going to close this. And thanks for... I'm sure look at this cat here. I am sure this was my cat. It's going up the alleyway. And I used to leave the door open. I used to leave the door open so it could come in and out, and then it just fucking disappeared one day. Maybe we could be pals again. Maybe we should start. No, I'm not. No, my kids live with the mum the other side of the city. All right, see you later, guys. Bye bye.